Joining us right now is Trump Presidential Campaign National Spokesperson Katrina Pearson. Katrina, quite the exchange. Thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Good morning.
Let me ask you, because we've been talking about that tweet that Hillary Clinton sent out to say, delete your account. That was the most retweeted tweet ever, right?
For her. 388,000 retweets so far.
388,000 retweets, Katrina, on delete your account. Is Donald Trump going to sort of back away from Twitter in any way and start focusing on the issues that the American people care about?
You know what, I think he is, actually. Going up to the convention, he's still having fun out there doing the rallies and interacting with people, but a lot of those retweets weren't because they were supportive of Hillary. It was because they were identifying pretty much her motto in the State Department, which is delete, delete, delete.
Well, they're also telling him, though, to delete the account and so use things like reality, like 38,000 jobs created in the last month, the fact that people are upset with the Iran deal, some of the real issues that people care about, whether it's economic or national security, to tell Donald Trump, look, you have an opportunity here, but it's a window that will close.
Well, yes, and he has been tweeting about those as well. He's giving a speech next week that I think everyone will appreciate when it comes to substance going up against Hillary Clinton. And, you know, the Twitter battle was quite indicative simply because this is something that Donald Trump has used to put out his crooked Hillary message and talking about the things that she's done while she was in office, either supporting the Wall Street banks and student loan backers, as Elizabeth Warren herself pointed out, or just simply talking about her own temperament in a book that's coming out.
Yeah.
I guess my question would be, given the nuance, the confusion of the problems that face us in this country, is 140 characters the best way to be dealing with this?
Well, I think the opening of this segment was talking about millennials, and there are a lot of millennials, and that is the medium that they use. And so I do think it is an important tool to get his message out moving forward.
How about the other people out there, not millennials, that are supporters and want to hear about the real issues, Katrina?
Well, he's going to have a speech next week. He has been giving rallies, and as you know, he does more press conferences than any candidate that's been in this race.
Yeah.
So he's going to use all aspects of media.
Well, that's true, Dagan. I mean, you don't see all the, you know, Hillary Clinton sitting down enough with reporters. I mean, that is his mode of communication.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's worked well for him thus far in terms of like keeping people interested in him and reacting at a moment's notice to what's going on in the news. Katrina, Ralph Reed was on last hour, and he was talking about how critical turnout's going to be in this election. That you have to identify that voter, you have to get that voter registered, make sure the voters were voting for your candidate, and actually physically maybe even driving them to the voting place. In terms of how much progress Donald Trump has made in putting together that ground game, give us some insight into how the campaign is coming together.
Yes, absolutely. That's a great question, and it is so important. And the good news is, because we have had the last 2 cycles of grassroots supporters who have been out there doing this hard work that maybe a lot in the party have failed to do, those are the ones that are active and engaged, who are reaching out to the campaign, wanting to help. Everyone's getting plugged in now. There is a joint effort with the RNC to get everyone plugged in, get them into place. There are many organizations who also want to help, like you said, even get people to the polls that might need help getting to the polls. There's a lot of excitement in this race, and a lot of people are going to be paying attention. I think voter turnout is going to be just the way it was for Mr. Trump in the primary. I think it's going to be historic.
How significant was President Obama's endorsement? Katrina, after meeting with the president, it seems Bernie Sanders will drop out of the race at any moment, leading to a battle for his supporters. What is the plan for Donald Trump to get those supporters over to his side?
I think mainly identifying the similarities with Bernie Sanders, even though the avenue to get there is quite different. And I don't think anyone didn't expect Obama to endorse Hillary Clinton. This would be his 3rd term. She will continue this horrible leading from behind, lackadaisical support of terrorism or fighting of terrorism, whatever you want to call it nowadays, bringing in more Syrian refugees, illegal immigration, giving illegal aliens access to Social Security. So, of course, Obama is going to back up Hillary Clinton. With Bernie Sanders, it's quite interesting because I think his supporters are severely underestimated. Many people think that they're automatically going to vote for Hillary Clinton, but like many Donald Trump supporters, Bernie Sanders supporters transcend party. They are on passion. These are issues that are important to them. Global corruption, political corruption, Wall Street banks, these are all things that are trigger issues, and his voters aren't just going to fall in line.
Katrina, Kirsten here. I have a question. So you're a Republican. Obviously, you care about the future of this party. And I'm just wondering if Donald Trump has a plan, since he has offended so many different segments of the population, looking at the future, is he able to bring people together that aren't just those kind of angry white middle class voters? So there are a lot of them. And of course, their needs should be valued and they should be listened to. But what is his vision for the future of this party? Because demographics are changing in this country. There's going to be a lot of movement. And even Bernie Sanders supporters, if he brings them on, will they stay Republicans after he's elected, if he is?
Well, I think so. I think if Donald Trump wasn't the nominee, we wouldn't even have a Republican Party moving forward, simply because there are so many disenfranchised Republicans, which is why you saw a record turnout for Donald Trump. But yes, there is a method to what people call the madness, and the main reason is because people in media or in even D.C., they are disconnected from people on the ground. You don't really get to see a whole lot of whether it be minority supporters or even women supporters for Donald Trump, because that's not really what the media wants to focus on. There are hundreds of millions of voters out there who don't come forward in their support for Mr. Trump just because of the chaos that you see that comes with that. And Mr. Trump has been critical. Whether or not people are offended by his criticism is another thing. But I think his criticism has also been something that a lot of people have been looking for as well.